Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. My name is Nadaya A. Coy Thomas, and I'm your host for today's press conference. Thank you to the viewing and listening audience for tuning in with us today for today's conference, and to the guests that are in attendance today at the University of the Virgin Islands Research and Technology Park on the St. Croix campus. Today, the Office of the Governor is excited to officially announce and present to you the Leadership Board of the Governor's Millennial Council. During today's press conference, Governor Bryan will provide us with brief remarks on his vision and his charge for the Millennial Council. Furthermore, he will introduce the members of the council's leadership team. Then, we will hear from Kalani Rivers on the missions, objectives, and initiatives of the Millennial Council. Following these remarks, we will take questions from the media. Without further ado, I'll turn the table over to the Honorable Governor Albert Bryan, Jr.
Thank you. Aren't our young people just fantastic? I love to see young talent in action here in the Virgin Islands. Pleasant good afternoon, as I've said before. You know, about 10 years ago, I was privy to a conversation where they had about 5 or 10 people, and all the people were over 40, and they were discussing young people, the millennials. And, you know, one of the remarks that was made was, man, these kids are in so much trouble. When they don't write the English language. They write things like LOL, they spell U. Instead of YOU, they say U. They have a whole abbreviated system. They will never learn how to speak and how to write properly. And I paused for a moment and I said, you guys don't get it, do you? And they said, what do you mean? I said, do you realize that they're not gonna have to fit into your world? You are going to have to fit into their world. And that was 10 years ago. Today, the millennials are the largest part of the American workforce. They're actually disrupting and dictating how things would go, not only in America, but globally. When you think about how fast the world has changed, in my lifetime, I've been privy to 8-track recorders, reel-to-reel recorders, cassette tapes, CDs, and now iPods. In a very short space of time. I can still remember my 3-year-old daughter crying and screaming because the phone wouldn't move from being tied to the wall. And that was just the advent of cordless phones. Today, our phone is the main source of information. It's the main source of paying. It's how you do your work. It's how you compete. And that is what the world is going to be. In the Virgin Islands, we have been changing rapidly as well. In the last year and a half, and the changes of the pandemic has forced us into a technological age that a lot of us have gone, not willingly, but kicking and screaming all the way. But because of that change, we're learning that things are much better and much easier using technology to our best of our advantage. And people ask me why I have so much faith in our young people and why I invest so much in our young people. Because believe it or not, I was young once too. At one time, I didn't have gray hair in my head and I could dunk the ball and stay up all night partying and still go to work the next day. Time has changed a little bit, but it has changed thus far. When I was a youngster in the Virgin Islands, we formed an organization about 20 years ago called Generation Now. And the reason why we formed it is because the government was not responsive to the needs of the people that were finding jobs, getting educated, raising children, trying to buy a home and get health care in the Virgin Islands. We formed that organization to bring to light a lot of the things that were wrong that didn't make the Virgin Islands a habitable place to live. We were very successful and we did a lot of things. But along the way, I always remembered that the next generation shouldn't have to do that. The next generation should have access to the governor. In a time when we stand at the doorstep of a new territory and a bold new beginning in restructuring our education system, healthcare, our roadwork, sewer, you name it, our tourism product is going to be changed. For the next 10 years, we're going to have unprecedented development in the Virgin Islands. It has already started, and it will continue. We've devised a 20-year plan to kind of dictate this course that we have changed to. But it can't happen unless we get the people who will be impacted most by that course change involved. Ergo, that's why, ta-da, the Millennial Council. It is the reason why we have to have not only the Millennial Council, but every single young person in the Virgin Islands engaged on what we are to do with this tremendous opportunity we have before us. We must make sure that we not only have them in the room, but they have a say in what is to go on. They cannot simply be trophies to our credence to the young people. They have to have an active part on our boards and our commissions. They have to play a part in planning and dictating where things will go and who will get to access them. We have done a lot of things in this Virgin Islands. And as governor, I am well aware of the problems of today, but I would be negligent in my duty if I cannot pick my head up and look to the future to find out what will be the challenges of tomorrow. These are the people that will answer those challenges. But they have much to learn, and so do we, because the way things were, they will never be again. So I'm proud today to announce the launch of this Millennial Council. A little too late, but COVID has its way of delaying but just about everything. And the leadership that you have before you today, I have found, and so will you, a bright, vibrant Virgin Islands with different ways of thinking, and that's okay, because we have to embrace change if we are to make this Virgin Islands better. So the first person I want to introduce is Nyla Calwood. You could clap for her. Good. Nyla is a 25-year-old ambassador for the arts, and as a daughter of an educator and media marketer, she grew up in Tortola, exploring storytelling and creative arts through the lens of youth engagement. While attending the University of the Virgin Islands on St. Thomas, she quickly learned and excelled in student leadership and produced several humanities programs under the mentorship of the late, great David Edgecombe. Nyla's engagement and excellence in working with student affairs during her undergraduate career led to her being hired as a student engagement coordinator and media specialist. She has since trained over 50 student leaders and reached thousands of UVI high school students and alumni through her programs she designed and promoted. Nyla works full-time now as the executive producer of her own company, VI Crawl. Nyla and her co-founders are currently on track to launch a federally funded media and performing arts after-school program for VI youth, as well as the VI Crawl app, a cultural tourism tech product that has stood out in the recent times and in the Accelerator program. Nyla serves as the Council's Public Relations Officer. Thank you, Nyla, for your service. No stranger to excellence is Kevin Dixon. Dr. Kevin Dixon, right? Kevin is a 30-year-old native of the island of St. Kitts, and his family relocated to St. Croix in 2003. He gained his bachelor's degree in business administration in 2014 and his Master of Business Administration in 2017 from the University of the Virgin Islands. During his undergraduate career, Kevin served 2 terms as president of student government. He was also selected as a White House HBCU All-Star student by President Barack Obama. Upon graduation, Kevin was also chosen for the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation Emerging Leaders Program during the fall of 2014 in Washington, D.C., where he worked in the office of Senator Dianne Feinstein. This year, Kevin, like I said, Dr. Kevin, completed his doctoral degree in business administration with a specialization in leadership from Liberty University. Today, he serves as a territorial project coordinator for youth services at the Virgin Islands Department of Labor. Dr. Kevin Dixon serves as the Council's secretary. Thank you, Kevin, for your service. Well, like I like to call him big things, but this person is an entrepreneurship mogul, and every time I see him, big things are going on. Michael Pemberton learned from his father. He learned from his father that sacrifice and hard work are two concepts that are essential to achieving greatness. But that greatness means nothing without the commitment to serving the community that supported you. Following his strong sense of service, Michael served in the U.S. Marines, co-founded a nonprofit organization called Uzmali, where he collected and distributed used clothing and food, and also became an American Cancer Society volunteer and advocate. All of this sparked his understanding in private business as a catalyst for change. Michael founded Egypt Entertainment to create a community of talented Virgin Islands millennials that would grow and learn together. He graduated UVI with a degree in business administration and a minor in management. While a student at UVI, his company, Averatech, became part of the very first cohort of the RT Parks Accelerate program, and later one of the just 36 startups companies to be admitted into the renowned Tech Beach program. His goal is to use Avera to innovate the Caribbean and improve the standard of living in the region. I won't tell you what your other goal is, but Michael Pemberton serves as the council's treasurer. Thank you, Michael, for your service. The master of FET, and he ain't done yet. Shamari Haynes, thank you. Born and raised on the island of St. Croix, Shamari is a 29-year-old graduate of the St. Croix Educational Complex of High School. You're only 29? Damn. Shamari is a culture enthusiast, costume designer, and is perhaps widely known for his work with Frederiksted Healthcare and at the VI Department of Tourism, where he presently serves as the Assistant Director of the Division of Festivals. His professional background includes event planning and management, marketing and promotion, fundraising and sales, as well as communication. Shamari began his studies at Edison Job Corps Academy in New Jersey, where he obtained his home health aide certification, and then at the University of Virgin Islands. Presently, he is enrolled at the University of Arizona Global Campuses in pursuit of his Bachelor of Arts degree in Business Administration. Shamari is the founder and co-creative director of Simply Sophisticated, Fun Troop, and Savage Festival, and is known for his volunteer work with the Police Athletic League, the Crucian Cultural Group, and the 10 Sleepless Nights Cultural Committee. Shamari serves as the council's vice president. Thank you, Shamari, for your service. These are, one thing I noticed, almost all of them work for the government. I mean, we've been an active thing of infusing young talent into our government as we grow and prepare for all of the changes we have to meet. This last person I met on the campaign trail when I was a fledgling, and he had so much to say I thought he was running for governor. But he is definitely a credit to us in the government, as well as a credit to Virgin Islanders everywhere. Kalani Rivers, ladies and gentlemen. He is a proud Virgin Islander with an extensive background in program design, mentorship, performing arts, and experiential education. During his undergraduate career, he designed and facilitated a variety of enrichment opportunities for young Virgin Islanders on behalf of the community stakeholders such as the Department of Labor, the University of the Virgin Islands, and the Department of Human Services. All of these experiences propelled Kalani to create VI Crawl in 2019, a media and education company that specializes in developing culturally relevant programs and experiences. Since its founding, VI Crawl has received awards and stood out in multiple business incubator programs, including Seed Spot VI, UVI RT Parks Accelerate VI program. Most recently, Kalani and his team have secured $500,000 to run a federally funded experiential learning after-school program for the next 3 years. That's fantastic. And are also on a track to launch a cultural tourism app in 2022. Kalani is the council's president. Please, a round of applause for Kalani. Thank you for your service. And you could just stand up, the rest of our leadership council. The council also has 9 other members, and we're featuring today the leadership of that council. These people have direct access to me, my phone number, cell number, whatever, and have the ability to bring proposals for me. But before I steal all of the show, today is about them and not so much about me. I will bring our president, Mr. Kalani Rivers, to talk about the Millennial Council and their plans. Kalani.
Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, Governor, for the awesome introduction. In a territory that's fighting to realize a brighter future, imagine having a secret weapon, but not using it. As a millennial, this is how I feel as I think about the gaps between the majority of us and government resources. Our generation is supposed to be the most educated, the most adept at technology and emerging trends, yet we haven't really had a seat at the table to influence our collective future. Well, we're here now. The Governor's Millennial Council exists to amplify access and innovation for millennials and Generation Z age Virgin Islanders. Our very first project, Project Access, seeks to collaborate with government entities to highlight opportunities that already exist within the territory. This is because young Virgin Islanders need to know about the high-paying jobs, funding opportunities, and special trainings afforded by the governor and by the government. We'll be collaborating with these entities and creating marketing campaigns to let people know how they can access these resources. So we'll be answering call to actions. So our very first project, Project Access, like I said, highlights opportunities within the government. Our second project attracts new opportunities to our shores. This project is the Tech Beach Conference. Now, this Tech Beach Conference is going to be a 4-day event which will provide panel discussions, keynote discussions, and workshops led by executives from world-renowned technology brands. Now, we all know that the tech industry is very vast and provides a lot of opportunity for economic sustainability. UVA's RT Park has already set the foundation for establishing the Virgin Islands as a technology hub. This Tech Beach Conference is expected to take it to the next level. So I told you about Project Access, which highlights opportunities that already exist, as well as the Tech Beach Conference, which brings new opportunities to our shores. Now, the next project is a project that addresses a problem that I was not initially aware of, and this is the VI Equestrian Training Center. Now, being that I'm from St. Thomas, I had no idea of the significance of this project. But thankfully, I had my Crucian counterparts to inform me that Haas is basically a big part of Crucian culture. They went on to tell me how the youths are naturally gravitated towards horseback riding and how this has been a problem over the years because there hasn't been any legally verified community stables for them to learn how to horseback ride. So this VI Equestrian Training Center will be a safe place for youths to learn from experts as to how to properly care for the horses and how to learn to ride on a professional level. We'll be collaborating with Sports Park and Recreation, who will be overseeing the day-to-day management of the center. And the Governor's Millennial Council will collaborate by creating a curriculum to make sure that it's culturally relevant and appealing for young Virgin Islanders. So based on everything I told you, you can already guess that everything that we do, we're going to be staying true to our mission, which is amplifying access and innovation to millennials and Generation Z Virgin Islanders. Now, we are currently expanding our membership, so if you have a strong skill set in program design or policy, we encourage you guys to reach out to us at our email, which is gmcusvi@gmail.com. But if you just want to stay abreast at all our different projects as we develop, we encourage you to follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook at GMCUSVI. But we're really calling on all millennials and all Generation Z age Virgin Islanders to join this movement. Because in this fight to realize a brighter future, we are the secret weapon. Thank you.
All this time I thought Tregenza was a secret weapon. We'll take questions, I guess, from the press now if we have any. I think we have one. None? Okay, we don't have any questions from the press. Any questions from the audience? Hearing none. I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out today and ask that people be positive and support the things that we are doing for young people. Yes, we're giving them more access. Yes, we're paying them more money. Yes, we're giving them free education. But it's important. It's important because we're not all going to be young forever, and we want to make sure that we're giving the resources over to the next generation and the generation after that, and that we could finally dispel this rumor in the Virgin Islands that we eat our young. We will make it so that we feed our young. Thank you. God bless. Love you.